We're back this week for another edition of Te Akau TV. We're joined by Te Akau racing manager Rhys Trumpet. Rhys, you're hot off tipping the Victorious the last time we caught up. You're in red hot form. How have you been going since the last time we caught up?
Really good, thanks, Hazy. It's obviously a great time of the year. All the good horses are starting to step out. Unfortunately, there is a bit of rain forecast to come this weekend, which might put a dampener on everything. But the horses are looking well, and they all ran well last weekend without having a lot of luck.
Excellent. And I guess we've got a bit of a jam-packed show for you this week. We'll be crossing over to Ben Gleeson and the Cranbourne barn a little bit later on to hear about those runners that are going around at Flemington, of which there are 4 on Saturday. So exciting weekend we're stepping into. Rhys and I will cover the races at Riccarton Park on Saturday, and then we're going to have a look at the card at Rapa on Sunday, where there's a couple of exciting gallopers taking place. But before I did that, I just wanted to shout out the donation push that we're running on behalf of staff member Lauren Russo, who's got a big battle in front of her as she's facing stage 4 melanoma. But there's a Give a Little page up there at the moment, and we want to try our best to get her to her winning post. So if you've got any spare change, it would be much appreciated. She's got a goal of $80,000 to be able to get to pay for some treatment. So go and have a look at that over the weekend. But obviously, all the best to Lauren as she goes through her next few hurdles in life. We'll leave it at that. Rhys, not many winners last week. Can you give us a bit of an update on kind of the Hawke's Bay, where we'll see some horses kind of move to next?
So look, we'll have a good team on the middle day. Obviously, the Hawke's Bay Guineas. It was great to see Captured by Love really rocketing home over the 1,200 metres. So the step up to 14 will be ideal for her. Obviously, Move to Strike didn't go to plan at all. We've got him home. He's trotting nicely and sound. Doesn't seem to be any issues with him post-race, so we'll continue as per usual and head towards the Hawke's Bay Guineas. Obviously, he did have an elevated heart rate post that race, which kind of happened the same at Matamata, and then he come out next start and won the Group 1. So we'll get him back on track for sure. Mark and Sam and Riley, who runs the colt barn, they'll look after him. We've kept him wrapped up, and he's a happy horse for sure. Obviously, Skew Whiff was excellent. I thought at the top of the straight she was just grinding there for a bit, but she really flattened out well the last 100. So the step up to a mile, obviously hasn't raced at the mile since she ran second in the Thoroughbred Breeders as a 3-year-old. We just weren't too sure if she was, but off her last start, you would think she'll get that. And she could be joined by Campionessa if she ran up to par on Sunday at Te Rapa. But we'll have a nice team there on the middle day for sure.
Excellent. Well, let's have a look down south at Riccarton Park. We're going to kick off in race number 1, the maiden 1200. And there's a 3-year-old colt that's found his way down there. Rhys, can you tell us a bit about him?
He's a lovely, big, strong boy by Satherbill. Obviously, it was an expensive yearling purchase by Dave. We've had a lot to do with this family. Obviously, his last 2 trials have been excellent. Can be quite daunting for a horse to run down the chute first time, but he'll have plenty of horses around him to help him get along there. And the way he's looking, and with Opie up, he looks like he's going to be very hard to beat.
And 2 nice gallopers take their place in the race 2, the rating 65 benchmark 1200. Vivacious was good last start, flashing home out wide, didn't get full luck in running. And another colt, 3-year-old colt, finds his place in this race with Opie Boston on board. That's When Stars Align.
Was great to see Vivacious hit the line so strongly over the 1,000 metres. Step up the 1,200 metres. Billy Pinsticks will ship. She'll be a good chance. When Stars Align, he was good first up. Obviously, the form's been very good out of there. Savagely was excellent at Hawke's Bay. Obviously, down the chute, he's won at Trentham before, so that'll help him. And Opie up again from a nice draw. He'll be a good chance, but against the older horse, it is a tough assignment.
And 2 take their place in race 5, the Martin Collins New Zealand Cup trial. Fierce Flight draws barrier 6, and last up, Fellini takes his place, drawn barrier 2 with Romeo Pinnable.
Fierce Flight, it was great to see him hit the line so strongly over the mile. As long as he's doing the same again on Saturday over the 18, we'll be happy. Fellini, it was great to see him back in victory. Obviously, the step up to 1,800 metres was a massive question mark, but he'd been racing like he wanted that sort of trip. So look, Billy Pinsticks with, he's down in the weights, but obviously up in grade. But sometimes when a horse like that gets a win and gets that confidence, they're away. And he was obviously good enough to run third in a Crack a Million as a 2-year-old, so he's doing very well.
Excellent. Race 6 there, the Pride's Easy Fed Open Handicap. Perfect scenario. He could almost be a Cantabrian in his own right with the amount of races he's won down the South Island. He finds his way down to his favourite hunting ground again, Reese, with the Apprentice Claim. Has to be a good chance going into this race.
His fresh up record's very good as well. Obviously, last year we started them over 14, but this year he goes 12. But there'll be a bit of cushion in the track, so it should race like a 1300. Obviously, Amber Riddell is Jonathan Riddell's daughter, so she's bred to be a very good jockey. So we'll just leave it up to her. Obviously, down to the 58 kgs being a stakes winner, he's very well placed and he should race very well.
Excellent. Race 7 there, the listed New Zealand Bloodstock Canterbury Bell Stakes, a race that Tiako's had a lot of success with in the past. 3 nice gallopers take their place in the Victress, About Last Night, and Dream of the Moon.
Obviously, the Victress was very good first up. She was pretty much going to win right as soon as they jumped, and she's done well in training since then. Opie up from barrier 1, she'll do much the same again. About Last Night, she was really good. She definitely raced up to expectations. We went down there not knowing where we were at with her, but she raced very well, and it's a really good chance for her to pick up some black type. Dream of the Moon, she's only just got down the South Island. Obviously, first up, it's going to be a very, very tough task for her, but she's won down the chute before, and Woodamoo Pin loves the horse, so which helps. And you can't write off her chances. She was good enough to run third to Captured by Love and Poetic Champion as a 2-year-old, so she's got the ability there.
And race 9 there, the Race Course Hotel and Motor Lodge rating 75, benchmark 1400. Kabugi, good to see him in the winner's stall last start. It's been a few runs in between drinks there, but good to see him back.
He's a horse that we've always had a lot of time for ever since he had his first race as a 2-year-old. Obviously, he had been disappointing from his last victory to that one, but the team are happy with him. The back up to 75 grade is a step up in class, but look, we have the horse in high regard and he should be okay.
And Almanet and El Viento down the bottom of the page there.
Almanet's come back in grade order. Obviously, the step up to 1400 metres and up in grade isn't ideal, but she's come back that well. From the draw, we'll just leave it up to Billy. Obviously, she can come from behind them. She's got a good turn of foot, or she can lead up, and she definitely can handle any cushion in the track. El Viento, our toughest battle will be making the field with him. He's obviously third on the ballot, which isn't going to be easy to make it in, but Warren Kennedy gets back on. At 1400 metres will suit him, and the cushion in the track will also be good for him.
Excellent. And over to Te Rapa there on Sunday for the Great Northern Meeting. We kick off with a progressive mare there in race number 1, Egyptian Queen. She's trialled really well, had some good form last season, draws a wide barrier in a fairly competitive field. Reece, can she get the team off to a good start there at Te Rapa on Sunday?
She definitely can. Obviously, we had her ready to go Foxbridge Plate Day, but the rain came. So we've just sat on her. She had a nice piece of work at Taupo in between then and now. She looks in good order. She was good enough to run third in the Al Manzil Trophy, which was a gun ride by Blake Shin. But she's a lovely, lovely mare, and she's definitely going to end up at some nice black type assignments. Whether she can win first up with big weight like that, I'm not sure, but she's definitely going to be in some big races later in the campaign.
And race 2 there, the Norris Ward McKinnon 1200, open handicap this race. The top weight has come out, so it kind of compresses the weights down a bit. Wild Knight, a horse that has won a Group 2 at Te Rapa in the past, had a few disappointing performances towards the tail end of last season, but seems to be working well, Reece.
Look, he's flying. Woodamoo Pin's done majority of his track work, and he's very, very bullish and confident about his chances. Obviously, he races well at Te Rapa. Whether the 1200 metres is a bit sharp for him now that he's a bit older, I'm not 100% sure, but he's got Opie on. He's very well weighted in this race. They'll get along at a very good clip, which will set it up for a horse like him. Definitely expect to see him right in the finish off his track work.
And Romancing the Moon, she trialled well behind Legato there in early August, ran in the Foxbridge where she led up as well, and ran a bit of a head scratcher.
She did, maybe a bit outclassed against that type of horse. She did do a lot of work though. Vinnie Colgan gets on, the blinkers come off. So whether we just ride her a bit quieter on Sunday and just get her to run home strongly. Obviously, her trial before that was very good, but we'll just leave it up to Vinnie.
Good Lord, here's an interesting one. Race 3, the Elsko Uniforms Maiden Hurdle. Aotea Lad, a once Crack a Million place getter, takes his place in this hurdle field.
He had a hurdle trial Monday week ago, and he was amazing. He was very good. Nick Downs was thrilled with him. He jumps very well. He's done plenty of jumping at home. We just raced him last week at Matamata just to tighten him up a little more. He's definitely going to be fit enough. He'll still look like a big bull out there, but look, he loves his jumping, and he's been a great horse for the stable, and it'd be a really good thing for John and Denise Alstott, who love the Te Rapa racecourse, to see their horse that ran in the Crack a Million right on the finish in a hurdle race.
Excellent. And race 8, the Waitoa Free Range Chicken Mile Open Handicap. Good gallopers in this. You got Sharp and Smart up the top of the book. Campia Nessa, her last runs have obviously been over in Australia, where she won the Petty Young Stakes, ran a good race in the Sunline Stakes there at Moonee Valley, and then went to Sydney and ran in Group 1 company over there. How's she come up this campaign?
She looks great. The team are really happy with the way she looks. Obviously, she improves as she goes on in the season, but the team's given her plenty of work, so the mile will be no troubles. Her mile record at Te Rapa is very good also. Obviously, she won the Kalai Zuzu, the Ritual Mile. So you definitely can't discount her chances, and the 59.5 kgs with knock out Haley's weight off her is not going to harm her one bit.
And Elegant Lady, she had a rich vein of form down in the South Island last season, culminating in a number of stakes placings. How's she coming up this season?
She looks good. Obviously, the 1,600 metres will be a bit slick for her, but if the rain does come, it will race like it's a bit further, so she would be all right. Watermove pin rods are obviously down in the weights, but she does find herself in a very, very competitive race. So expect just to watch her later on in the preparation.
Race 9, the Waikato Construction 1400 rating 75 benchmark. Cognito has the services of the apprentice, carries the top weight in 62 kilos, but claims down to 58.
He looks well. Obviously, the 1,400 metres first up will be good for him. He's obviously a Group 2 winner, so he's very well placed in the 75 grade. He has raced well at Te Rapa in the past, so expect him to race well again, but he'd be better after a couple of races.
And 2 that performed fairly well in midweek company there at Taupo in very strong fields. Troby Ann seems to have come up really well this campaign. So is What You Wish For. Draws barrier 11 and 10 respectively.
Troby Ann stays in the same rating as well, which is ideal. He's only gone up a kg in weight. Opie jumps on again, which is a big help. He will handle with a bit of sting in the track. So where he gets to from that draw, I'm not sure. But the horse is flying, and we're really happy with him. Obviously, we pulled him out of Hastings last week because of the awful draw, but he's raced well at Te Rapa in the past, being a Group 2 winner. And same for What You Wish For. He's raced very well at Te Rapa, having run third in the Waikato Guineas. Obviously, the 1,400 metres is going to be ideal for him. Up in class to the 75 grade now won't hurt him one bit. The claim of Jessica Allen does bring him into it a lot more. Obviously, we'll just ride him quiet, let him run home like we do, and he'll do the rest. But 3 really nice chances in the second to last at Te Rapa for sure.
Excellent race. Where are we going for the best bet? We're going to go 2 from 2 here, surely.
Look, it hasn't been easy to pick one this week, but look, we'd have to go for the Victorious to win. But look, it wouldn't surprise you if you run the stable trifecta and the Canterbury Bell. They're 3 lovely chances, but having the Victorious, having had that run, she definitely looks like she's going to be very hard to beat.
Excellent. Well, thanks for your time today, Reece. I guess next week we look forward to the return to Ellerslie, so there'll be a number of runners hopefully taking their place there. We're going to cross over to Ben Gleeson now and check out those 4 runners over in Cranbourne. So catch you again sometime soon, mate. Well, we're back here for the first time of the new season with Ben Gleeson. Ben, long time no see. What's all the news in Cranbourne?
Yeah, it has been a while. It's been a long winter, as I'm sure it has been at home in New Zealand. But we've had some jumpers over here that's got us through the winter. We've won a good number of jumps races, and it's probably helped it go by a bit quicker. So that's been enjoyable. But since sort of the first week of July, we've had nice horses come back in, and it's been a long, slow, steady build-up. But all our our guns, so to speak, are ready to go now, and a couple of them have had a first up run. So hoping on Saturday, where we've got 4 runners at Flemington, we can have a big day.
And Ben, the boxes, I guess the horses that are under your care now have slowly kind of been increasing over the last 12 months. How many of you kind of got in the team now, and what's the plan for kind of expanding the stables?
So we've got 30 boxes up and operating now, and those 30 are full every day at the moment. We've got a nice overflow of horses that are 1 spelling or 2 in pre-training. So we've got about 60 horses on the books here. So that's a really nice number, especially seeing we've just ticked over basically our first year here. And so the next barn of 40 will be ready, I'd say maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And then we'll have to try and fill those next 40, which will be a good challenge for us. But if we can ensure that results stay up to scratch and keep striking at 20%, I'm sure we'll be able to attract new owners and find some new horses.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about one of those in a minute. And Quintessa obviously won the Cochrane Stakes there a couple of weeks back. She goes around at Flemington with 3 other talented gallopers, Ben. We're going to talk about the first one in race 1 at Flemington, and that's Zurian for Cambridge Stud. Kicks off in a BM 78 race.
Yeah, it's come up to quite a strong benchmark 78, as it should be this time of year. But there's some really promising horses that are resuming in it. Nadal's a nice horse of Kieran Mars that obviously has stakes ability. The top weight he's promising is one, I think, 3 from 4. So there's some really nice horses in there. Yeah, we still have a good opinion of Zurion. She trialled up enormous. I think she won a jump out by about 6 lengths a couple of weeks ago now, and we put the blinkers on her just to really help her concentrate. Look, we can't fault her at home. We're really hoping that she can bring her form that we saw, her win a Group 2 back in New Zealand and finish top 3 in 1,000 Guineas prelude. If she can produce that form with the blinkers on, there's no reason she can't be running a big race. So it'll be a good test for her, but we're hoping with the blinkers on, she can try and find a bum to follow and really let rip and be in with a top 3 chance, even though our odds don't suggest that.
Excellent. And over to race 3 there, stakes race over 1,100 metres. Bellatrix Star, she was good enough first up there, I think at Caulfield, finds the winner of that race in this field as well. How's she tracking along?
She's going super. Honestly, there wouldn't be a horse that looks better in our stable at the moment. She's been working really well. The first up run was a bit of a blow the cobwebs out. She hadn't raced for 6 months. She had a lot to improve, and the 4 weeks between runs has done her the world of good. So her work on Tuesday morning was super. She had a really good turn of foot. So Mark and I have been discussing, it'll be interesting to see her down the straight. We'll try and get her to switch off, and she just gives you the feel that she really could explode with a bit of cover down the straight. So hoping that's the case, and with her looks, I really think she'll outrun her odds.
Excellent. And over to race 7, the Let's Elope Stakes. The last up winner, which we mentioned before, Quintessa, comes out of the Cochrane Stakes. This is run over 1,400, and I'd say the step up in distance might actually suit her. She carries a bit less weight than last up.
Yeah, there's a lot of boxes that tick for her heading on to a second up run. That first up run, they went quite steady in it. She was allowed to sort of sit and sprint. It almost acted like a second jump out for her. So you could almost view that she's going into this first up as well, given how soft a race it was. So, yeah, she meets a similar field, drops 1.5 kilos, and more suited by the step up to 1,400. So she just, as I said, ticks a lot of boxes. She's made good improvement in the 2 weeks. She's licking the bin clean, and I think she's deserving favourite, and she's probably the real standout on paper for us.
And race 9 there, the Bobby Lewis, it's a Group 2 race over 1,200 metres. Sands Doot was pretty impressive coming from the back of the field there at the Valley, and obviously behind the eventual Group 1 winner in Mornington Glory. She heads to Flemington, which she's had some success at the past. Can only see her improving into this run.
Yep, we went into her first up run off 1 jump out as well, so we left plenty of improvement. I think she ran the best 600 of the day at Moonee Valley first up. So it was a real eye catcher. And as you said, Mornington Glory coming out and then winning a Group 1 looks a really good form boost. So that just told us that she's come back in a rich vein of form. Her gallop on Tuesday morning was super. It just thrilled to get her back to Flemington. It's obviously the best race she's taken on. There's some really good horses in it, Group 1 winners. and Group 1 performers week in, week out. So it'll be a really good test as to where she's at, if she can measure up. But we're very happy with her at home, and really excited to get her back to Flemington. She's the most mature as a mare that she's been. So hopefully she can produce her biggest run yet.
Excellent. Well, Ben, 4 really nice chances. Which one do you like to put the best foot forward this weekend?
I think, as I said, on paper, Quintessa's probably the best of ours for the weekend. She gets a lovely map from barrier 8. Should be able to settle a bit better than midfield and track into it at the right time. And she's run a big race at Flemington before, where she ran 4th in Australian Guineas. So I think that track really suits her. So I'd say she's probably our best for the day. And we do have an exciting filly kicking off tomorrow at Geelong called Exuberance for a wonderful new owner in Aussie Keir. So hopefully she can debut in nice fashion, and she'll be one of our more exciting runners for the weekend as well.
Excellent, Ben. Well, thanks for your time today, mate, and we'll look forward to catching you up again with you soon.